I want to talk to you guys about this book. Have you read it?
It's called Small Boat by Vincent Delacroix. It was translated by Helen Stevenson. The book follows the story of this woman who works for the Coast Guard in France. She's a French Coast Guard officer. And it's about her basically refusing or justifying her refusal of helping a boat of 27 migrants who were stuck in waters between the north of France and the south of the UK. And there's a moment in that water where, it's in English water or it's in French water. And this migrant boat called her for help, asking for help from the Navy because they were drowning, they needed help, they were dying. And the book sort of follows her being investigated by the police or interviewed by the police about why she refused to help them. It goes sort of back and forth. It's almost like reading a monologue. It's a fascinating read. And she sort of basically tells these immigrants or migrants and tells the police who are interviewing her that they weren't in French waters. They were the UK's problem. And it sort of gets at this sort of like philosophical questions about who deserves help in a country, who deserves, the help of the state, whether or not they are from there, or whether they're trying to leave it, or whether they're trying to get there. Where do those people fall? It's very obviously not a light read, but it also is something that is so relevant right now and is so present. The book did come out in English this year, but it was previously published, in 2023. So it is new, but not that new. And it also is based on a true story. In November 2021, this actually happened. And there were soldiers who, like the character in the book, refused to help or failed to help them. And these people died in the water. And so that's why this book is so interesting, is that it really is sort of getting into the mind of someone who is one of the worst people you can imagine, who is someone who is, so, let's say, anti-immigrant and so embedded with hate that they don't even realize is there, that they justify the sort of death of, almost 30 people. And it's brutal. It is, again, not a light read, but it is something that is sort of necessary to sort of sit with and sort of see that sort of thinking. And it's unsurprising that, Vincent Delacroix, the writer of the book, he's a philosopher. And it really feels like this. You're feeling that wrestling of just sort of why this person made this decision and why this has sort of come to pass, this sort of tragedy. And it really is one of the best sort of interrogations and investigations of that. And not ironically that it's sort of it takes the form of it being an investigation. You're reading an investigation. So I think it really does help and would be really useful for people to sort of understand the thinking of people who are, say, perhaps more conservative and definitely anti-immigrant. It really does do a good job of capturing that without even getting into it. Another thing that is small, and I'm this person, even though I hate this idea, is that it really feels like a play, and I can sort of read it and I feel I can see someone like Amy Adams playing this character. And I would not be surprised if someone like Amy Adams plays this role in a movie and it gets adapted. It's sort of begging for that, and it seems really ripe for the moment of a really hardcore drama tragedy about a really, really deeply unlikable character who ultimately thinks that they're not wrong. It really is a wild read, and I highly, highly recommend it.